Hey, welcome back to Desire Dialogues, the podcast where we unlearn everything that made sex awkward, make communication hot again, and turn pleasure into daily practice, not just a date night event. Welcome back to my regs and welcome to my new listeners. I'm your host, Lauren Goyette, sex coach, shame disruptor, and your reminder that how you speak is just as erotic as what you say. Today, we're going to talk about silence. Not the kind of silence that feels like rejection or disconnection, because yeah, we've all fucking been there, right? You're like, oh boy, this is fucking weird. I'm talking about spacious, strategic, sensual silence. So silence that invites curiosity, silence that builds tension, and silence that makes your partner lean in and want to understand you, and also gives them space to be in the conversation too, if you happen to be somebody who likes to fill the silence with more words. Because silence, when it's used right, is one of the most underrated tools in your erotic communication toolbox. Let's get into it. So, why we overexplain, especially in the bedroom, right? So many of us, especially women and my femme folks, have been taught to make our desire palatable, right? That looks like explaining why we want something, justifying why it's okay to ask, and then apologizing in advance for taking up space. Why are we apologizing? Notice these little things that we do. And we do it because we're trained that asking makes us a burden. But here's the truth. Over-explaining is just unsexy people pleasing with better grammar. All right? In an intimate moment, it actually kills polarity. You don't need a dissertation to ask for your turn on. You need clarity, breath, and sometimes a very nice, well-timed pause. So what silence actually communicates, right? So when you speak clearly and then pause, not defensively, not passive aggressively, you're saying, I trust that you can handle this. I'm not afraid of you needing a minute to think over what I just asked, right? And then you're also saying, my desire doesn't need over justification. Silence becomes a tool of trust, not a punishment. And trust, well, that's sexy as hell. Segment 3, my friends. Let's get into, maybe some examples. Okay, if you're like, I don't know if I over-explain. Let me give you a few examples, and maybe it will be you, and maybe it won't. And maybe it'll be a friend, right? Could be a friend of yours who just told you a story. Share this episode with them if you think it would be definitely helpful for them. Let's give you a little before and after here. Okay, so over-explaining energy is I know we tried and we had a long week, and I don't want you to feel pressured, but I was thinking maybe this weekend we could try using that toy I got, but only if you're into it. Let's go to clear and confident. I've been thinking about that toy we got. I'd love to try it with you. Pause. What do you think? Notice a pause. This is going to open space for them to come into the conversation. It's also showing that you're confident because I've been thinking about this. You state your intention, right? I'd love to try it with you. Notice there's no feelings or judgment in that statement either, or neediness. And what do you think? Easy open-ended question, right? You gave the invitation, then you let it land. That's where the spark starts. That's where you give them a chance to show up into the conversation, right? So how to practice erotic silence, all right? We're going to give you a little micro practice. So first, you're going to state your desire in one clear sentence. For example, I'd love to explore a slower kind of touch tonight. Take one slow breath, right? Don't talk. Don't justify. Just be present with that breath, right? You let them respond or not, right? If they fidget, that's their work. If they ask questions, you answer simply. But don't fill in the silence for them, right? You're taking away conversation from them when we do this. And I didn't realize that for such a long time. I always tried to fill in the silence. I always tried to lead. And you just don't need to. You don't. It's a lot of effort for you. It really is. So when you do give a silence, give a moment, you're creating mystery as well. You're giving them a chance to go ahead and answer the way they want. And it's you're just giving it a minute for your words to be felt. You're not withholding. You're not being cold. You're being very clear. And like, that's really magnetic, right? So my friends, call to action. I dare you this week to say one thing you want and then shut up, right? Let it land. Let them feel it and let yourself be heard with the smallest amount of words and the most beautiful amount of silence. It's going to be interesting, right? If this is not your bag. And I get it. But, it takes time to really, learn how to speak confidently with erotic clarity and have that silence be there without the shame. All right. And if you want more tools like this, more conversations, the Pleasure Collective membership definitely may be for you. I got you with all the link in the comment. Go ahead and check it out. This is where that sexy rewire happens, where we unlearn shame and really step into like our full sexual authenticity. Share this with a friend if you think they would love it. Share with the partner, right? If they're maybe the over talker. Thanks so much for listening to Desire Dialogues, and may you speak less to prove. Right? Less proving energy. And then more to turn yourself on and ask for what you want. Because your desire doesn't really need a disclaimer here, right? And pleasure, that is your birthright. I'll see you next time, folks.